Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Humanitarian Transformation Network by Candace, where I speak about human rights issues in the 21st century. And I apply my socioeconomic research to the current human rights factors that we are experiencing today. I hope everyone is having a blessed and beautiful day or night wherever you reside. And sorry, I did not do anything for you guys the past couple of days, but I was attending a spiritual retreat, which was awesome. So I, wasn't able to do any uploads or lives. I usually go live every day to bring more awareness to human rights issues and also things that are hindering and impacting humanity. So I thank everybody for joining me. I thank you for all my subscribers that will join me now and will join me later on because I am just beginning. So I thank everybody who will watch my videos in regards to bringing awareness to a lot of things that we are experiencing, impacting human beings. And I was going to do another presentation on human rights and dig a little bit deeper as far as the governmental statistics, but I decided to talk about something else today because this is very prevalent currently now that's going on. And as a parent of, two older sons that, because the new generation has fallen into, I call it the matrix of social media in the internet. And back in my day, we didn't have all this nonsense going on. And I think we live better lives than these children are experiencing today. But what I have noticed, and I have been getting this information, from others in regards to these social media platforms that are basically condoning uh, human traffickers and pedophiles. They are they are allowing people to use their platforms uh, to prey on young women and young adults and children. Of course, because we have hackers as well. And their prey, these social media platforms, and because it seems like they don't want to take responsibility that they are part of all of this human trafficking and pedophilia that is currently going on. Social media is the number one prey platforms because these predators, these human traffickers, and all these handlers and these predators are allowing this, uh, you know, to be, they do it undercover. Let's just put it like that. And these social media platforms, these CEOs, these big executives are not being held accountable because they're part of it. A lot of them are part of it and they know they're part of it because, we know about what happened to Backpage.com. Um, and there's other sites besides Backpage.com, these porn sites and all these other sites where they recruit these women that are vulnerable, that, are, financially disabled. They are open prey. And these sites know this. Because we have these sexual predators out there, and that's exactly what they are, and they're allowing these women that are vulnerable to and some of them do it just for the money. They're allowing to post on these websites, and there no one's saying anything about it, and even including the government is aware that this is going on. Backpage, OnlyFans. When I somebody brought that to my attention, and and it was on Twitter. Twitter has this platform called OnlyFans, and Lord knows what other uh, pages they have, like OnlyFans. And this is legalized, basically, prostitution, okay, online. It's a porn site online. Because when you pull up some of these women's pages, and half of them, are naked, and they're putting all their business out there. Okay, and this is a prime place for human traffickers to go to lure these women into sex trafficking. Okay, so these CEOs, okay, at Twitter and even on Facebook, okay, some of these Facebook pages that are out there. Okay, some of these women and men, I mean, if you're exploiting yourself, putting all your business out there, that you are a prime target for human traffickers. And these social media platforms are allowing it. Okay, all this nudity that they are putting out there. I mean, these women are half naked. Okay, they are showing everything up under the sun, and then their information is on these platforms, so they're able to be tracked, or if not, the hacker can hack where they're at. So these social media platforms are responsible as well, and no one is talking about this. Okay, um, Instagram, Snapchat. If you go to some of these pages on Instagram and Snapchat, I don't go on them. I'm just, I have men around me, and I have sons, and they show me these things, and because they're appalled at some of the stuff that they see. They're like, "Mom, this is just disrespectful." Okay, because these social media platforms are allowing this to happen. These women are prime targets for human trafficking, escorting, and prostitution right on social media, and nobody is talking about it. And it's all out there in the open. These women and these men are exploiting themselves to the world. Okay, and this is why we have a worldwide crisis with pedophilia and human trafficking, because the social media CEOs, the government, they all are aware of this, okay, because they monitor these platforms. They know what's on these platforms. They know what's going on these platforms. Let's just be honest here, people, because nobody wants to talk about the elephant in the room. And this elephant in the room is these social media platforms that are allowing this exploitation of men and women and young children to go on. Because a lot of your parents, you don't monitor your children online. Just be honest, because you're too busy with your own lives, and you don't monitor what your children are doing online and who they're talking to. And with the social media as well, I mentioned this before, you don't know who's behind that screen that you're talking to. Anybody can make a fake profile, because me being a socioeconomic researcher, I have caught many of people, even businesses, that are fake online. So there's predators online on the internet, and nobody is acknowledging this. And these social media platforms and these CEOs are responsible for this. I don't know. I really don't know who is responsible, because no one wants to take accountability for this stuff going on. When these women are able to post half naked online, and the next thing you know, they end up dead, or in a precarious situation where they're human trafficked, they're snatched, or anything could happen. Okay, because now that predator knows where she's at. He can follow her for months, because she's putting all her business on social media. Okay, she's you know everything that she has is wide open: swimsuits, thongs, naked, showing her private parts, and as well as men too. These LGBT men, cute, them too. They're putting all their business out there online, and no one is saying anything. And then we wonder why, because anyone from around the world gets on the internet. Everyone from around the world gets on the internet. Okay, and they can follow anyone. They can, even, if you keep your account private, people can hack into stuff, okay, unless you have a good virus protection. I try to keep virus protection, but some people don't have a good virus protection. But it should even come to that extent, because these social media CEOs and these business, owners, they know what is being posted on their platforms. And they see these naked women. And to me, if they're allowing it to happen, they're part of the problem. These executive and these CEOs and these social media owners are part of the problem, because they are allowing this explicit nudity, okay, and exploitation to go on their platforms, and they are aware of this. Instagram is the worst, and even Twitter, the OnlyFans is the worst I have seen. I was appalled when I saw it. I was like, what in the world? These women are just putting everything out there. When I say everything, everything is shown. Okay, and even with some of these videos that I see, these women are showing more cleavage than the law allowed. There is no respect and dignity for the human body anymore. There's no respect for a woman anymore. And then we wonder why. Okay, because a lot of these CEOs and these social media owners are men. Okay, we know they're men, and they are allowing this to happen on their platforms, and nobody's talking about it. OnlyFans, Twitter, men. Facebook, men. Okay, Instagram, men. And Lord only knows how many other platforms. Backpage, men. Okay, even these dating platforms as well. Okay, the dating platforms, they let them put them all out, put their business all out there, and it's nothing but a open portal for human traffickers and handlers. Okay, that's all they are, and nobody wants to talk about this. And I decided, because I was thinking about what am I going to talk about tonight, and I was going to dig more deeper into the human trafficking aspect. But I was like, you know what? No, I want to talk about social media platforms and how they're responsible. Okay, they are responsible for this. They know this is going on in their platforms. They know there's all kind of naked photos and sex videos going on their platforms, and they're allowing it to happen. And they wonder why a lot of these young girls and these little children are being molested, raped, murdered, and human trafficked because of the internet and these social media platforms. And the government is aware of these platforms, and they know that Instagram is an open hub for, and all the other social media platforms is an open hub for people preying on the vulnerable and those seeking uh, financially off of their platforms. Okay, and even some of these dating sites, they are all putting it out there. Okay, so to me, we didn't have this back in my time. So, now today, I only use my social media now, but for business. I don't even use it to connect with family and friends no more, because I'm so disgusted with the whole thing. I'm so disgusted with these social media platforms. I really am. Because and I used to be on it all the time. I used to be on social media all the time. I really did. Now I do my business and I get off. Okay, that's all I do. I use it for my business purposes, because you need it for business. Okay, for marketing and other things. But everything else, I do not get on social media. Okay, because it is an open portal, and it's for people to get all in your business as well. Okay, and this is what people want to do. They want to get all in your business, and this is how they get into your business. They learn about you. They learn about your likes and your dislikes, what you're doing in your life, because people put all their business out on their own social media. And this is what a lot of these young adults do. They put all their business out on social media. They take pictures of where they're at, what their bedrooms look like, what their house looks like, what they're eating for dinner. Okay, and this is a prime way for a predator to track that child down. Okay, and then they talk to them, become their friend. Okay, I've seen this. Matter of fact, I was watching a movie. Was it yesterday? Yeah, I was watching a movie. I've been watching human trafficking movies. Let me tell you, it's so disturbing. Um, this particular movie, the young girl wanted to, hang out with her friend, and her friend had befriended a gentleman, and he looked around their age, but he was working for a human trafficking cartel. And so what ended up happening was, they would meet him where the kids want to go, to the mall. Oh yeah, we'll meet at the mall. Take them to the mall a couple of times. Take them to lunch, a couple of times. Go where the young kids hang out at, and that's exactly what they did. And I think like the after a couple of times, next thing you know, these younger gentlemen that these girls were thought they were had their best interests at heart, and hanging out with them. Okay, they ended up being taken. The younger guys actually set the girls up to be sold to the human traffickers. Okay, and drug them. Okay, gave them right at the mall. Now, right at the mall, gave them a little date rape drug or whatever, to knock them out, make them, drowsy. And they, but they split the girls up. They split the friends up first. Okay. They're smart. They split them up first, and they split the girls up, and one took one and the other one took the other one. And then they drugged them, and both the girls ended up in a white van. And then when they woke up, they were in a cage. Okay. With all other girls that were, um, you know, subdued and to be sold into human trafficking. Then they proceeded to put them in bikinis and take photos of them. Okay, and of course the girls were crying because they wanted to get away. And if they did not comply, they would beat on them, punch them in the stomach to make them comply, to take the photos to be sold into sex trafficking. So little things like that can happen to your son or your daughter. So a lot of you parents need to be very mindful what you are allowing your children, because a lot of your parents also, you let your 3, 4, 5 year old get on a laptop, get on a computer. Okay, you don't know what is going on, and that also goes goes on to, for me, being a socioeconomic researcher. A lot of these cartoons these days are not clean. You guys give your child a laptop or a little iPad, and they're watching cartoons. Do you know a lot of these cartoons are sexually driven these days? They show penises and everything else these days. A lot of these cartoons are very unclean as well. They're making them very unclean, not like the cartoons that they used to do. These cartoons are getting very explicit these days, and you just hand your child the iPad, and you put on a cartoon not knowing what's in that cartoon. Okay, because they have subliminal messages for children in those cartoons. And a lot of parents aren't aware of that. You just give them that iPad to shut your child up, and your child is listening to those and seeing those subliminal messages. So, they are being groomed at an early age. So about time they become a young adult and they get online, this is when all the other exploitation comes out. Okay, and then when they become a little older, then they're putting all their business out there, and then you wonder why we have this human trafficking problem across the world, not only in the United States, which is $100 billion industry. That is a huge industry. Human trafficking is $100 billion industry. Could you imagine? You know how many mouths that could feed? You know how many houses that can house the homeless? Okay, but instead they rather sell a human body, a human being. Okay, which is a violation of human rights. But a lot of people are just ignoring human rights in general. They don't want to be held accountable. They don't want to hear things like what I'm speaking about social media platforms. I can tell you that right now. Okay, because nobody's talking about this. Okay, nobody's talking about how the effect of social media is part of the problem, because a lot of these younger adults, whether they're and adults, okay, that are exploiting themselves right on social media platforms, and they're allowing it. I don't even know if I thought the OnlyFans was shut down, but apparently it's not. Okay, and you don't even need OnlyFans because you go on Instagram and it's just it's horrific. And let me also say this too. Because I was very disturbed. I was very, very disturbed about this. The entertainment industry is responsible too for human trafficking. When you let rappers and these other entertainers, do you see the type of clothing that they wear? And your child is idolizing these artists, okay? They so-called artists, okay? Miley Cyrus and Katy Perry. They're doing they're singing the songs or whatever they're doing on stage half naked. So your daughter is looking at that. Oh, mommy, that's how I want to dress. Oh, mommy, that's how I want to look. Okay, your daughters and your sons are idolizing half naked women. This is the responsibility of the entertainment industry as well, and as well as the rap music. Let's talk about that. When I first saw that, when I heard of what's her name, Meg the Stallion, that's that's a prostitute name. I'm sorry to say, I'm just being honest. Meg the Stallion, and who was it? Nicki Minaj. I said, I'm done. Why would anyone let anyone make a song called WAP? And WAP is wet a p. Way, how can I say it in a nice, not so vulgar term? Wet, you wet your derriere and a woman's private parts, and made a song of it. That is the most appalling, downgrading song that I have ever heard of in my life. So the entertainment industry is also responsible for human trafficking as well, when they are letting rappers and these entertainers to come on stage, they're naked. You are just grooming young adults and children to become grow up to become predators, using social media platforms in the entertainment industry. Let's just be clearly honest here, okay? Because people are not honest. People are being very deceitful, and they want to put this illusion in front of your face. Oh, we're not responsible. Yes, you are. You are responsible because you're allowing it. You are part of the problem. And this is why we have a human trafficking problem around the world. This is why we have prostitution. I'm not really going to talk about too much about prostitution, because prostitution has been around for decades, and I experienced that when I went to it was Williamsburg, Virginia. I went there back in the colonial times, and they took us on tour, and I was amazed to find out that you had the courthouses. Okay, there's a property where you have courthouses, and then right on the same property as the courthouses was the brothels. Okay, so you had a brothel right where the courthouses were. So they would try a case, or be in court, and they're able to go to the brothels, which are basically you know, prostitution houses. Well, so it's the oldest profession in the world, like they say. That is true. Okay, it's the oldest profession in the world. But these days, it has become very dangerous because they're preying on children and other younger adults. And they're using social media platforms and the internet to do it. And and the entertainment industry, they're promoting this. They're allowing this to be promoted. So who's responsible? Who's responsible? Who who's deceiving people here? Who's putting these illusions in people's faces? Okay, a lot of these CEOs, a lot of these social media platforms that, oh no, we would never do that. Yes, you would. Okay, because it's happening on your platform. Currently now, it is happening on your platform. Women are able to expose themselves, which is a prime target for handlers and human traffickers. They follow these women. They're looking for these women. Okay, and they're looking for the vulnerable and the ones easy to get. Okay, because some of these women, you flash enough money in their faces, they're going to fall for the bait because the society has portrayed to so many about being materialistic. People want these shiny nice things, okay, and it's not about having these shiny nice things and quick easy money. It's about living a spiritual, enjoyable life as a human being and realizing that we are all human beings. We are just different colors, shapes, and sizes in different nationalities. We are not to be um, using one another as tools for self preservation. We are to respect one another with love and dignity, and to help uplift humanity. And this is why the world has went into darkness. This is why a lot of darkness is currently going on around the world and within the United States, because there has been so much dark and evil that has transpired just by being on social media, and other human beings just being treated like they're less of a human being because there's no respect for human rights. And there's a lot of organizations that they push that they support human rights, knowing well that they are part of the problem, the exploitation of children and humanity. So we really need to get clear about these social media platforms and these powerful people that are responsible for a lot of this. Look at the churches. Look at the churches. Oh, a lot of these false prophets. Oh, we're here to heal the people, but in the same breath, they're trafficking or doing pedophilia to little girls and little boys. But they're supposed to be helping heal, and they're people of God. Those are not people of God. Okay, in a lot of these churches, you can't even respect anymore. You can't even respect these preachers anymore because you don't know what preacher is messing with children. And then also, let's talk about the fornication in the church. Okay, I'm just going on, okay, because I've been researching this for a long time. Some of this information I know from experience, but you have a preacher, he has a wife, and he basically has a wife, a girlfriend, and a mistress, and another mistress, and he has like 6 or 7 kids, and he's sitting in the church, says, "Oh yes, I'm here, to praise God and to help you heal, and to bring you to God." And you cannot, you cannot even respect someone like that to guide anyone to the Lord, okay, because he is not of the Lord, because he has not even recognized his own sins, because he's still sinning himself. So he needs to repent his own sins. So you have to be very mindful of a lot of these churches that have these false prophets out here, because there's a lot of false prophets that are doing things that they should not be doing. So I just wanted to, expand on this a little bit and talk about this tonight, because I think it's very important. Because people want to wear these false fake masks and realize that social media is not a part of the problem, which it is. It is a big problem. If some of you parents, try going on Instagram and Snapchat, just make you an account. Go on some of them. Go on these platforms and see what you see. Go on OnlyFans, a couple of these websites. Make you an account. See what your children are looking at. Okay? See what comes through the feed. See what these little young adults are posting. Okay? You'll be amazed at what you see. So I just wanted to, put that out there and bring awareness to these social media platforms that are hiding under the veil and do not want to be held responsible for being part of human trafficking, because they are allowing these predators and handlers to get these young adults, they're preying on them online, and they're making false and fake accounts. And we know about the false and fake accounts. Okay. Because me being a socioeconomic researcher, and I am as well federal, I have I have monitored this for years. I have been monitoring these, and I've actually, spoke upon and I have a blog as well that I have been writing about these predators. Okay, these predators are online, and nobody's talking about it. Nobody's saying anything. No, they're just letting it happen. Oh no, we don't see that. No, we don't see that naked girl on Instagram. No, we don't see that naked girl on Snapchat. No, we don't see that naked girl on Facebook. No, we don't see that. We don't see that naked man on OnlyFans. We don't see none of that. No, we don't see none of that. Come on, let's just be honest here, people. Just really, let's be clear about some things. This is why we have a human trafficking issue around the world right now, and including these nonprofit organizations. Okay. It's all about the money. It's a big, what did I say? $100 billion business. We could be building homes for the homeless with $100 billion, is what we could be doing. We could house a lot of people around the world with $100 billion. We could be feeding a lot of people around the world with $100 billion. But no, they rather fulfill their sick, sadistic, sexual fantasies is what they prefer to do. And and you guys, it goes from the top to the middle to the bottom. Okay. It's not just one set. It's the powerful to the mid powerful down to the bottom. The drug dealers and down to the bottom. $100 billion business. You know what we could do with $100 billion? Do you know what we could do with $100 billion? I know what I could do. I could help a whole lot of people with $100 billion. I sure can. Okay, I could build my villages that I wanted to build all around the world to help have a safe zone for women that are being human trafficked. That's what I could be doing with $100 billion. I can tell you that right now. That's what I would be doing, and I would be able to feed people that need help. Okay, and rehabilitate lives with $100 billion. But no, they want to use it for sexual purposes. Go figure. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed that. But I had to say something. I had to talk about it because it's so important. Because social media is part of it. And nobody wants to talk about this elephant in the room. Nope. They don't want to talk about, no, don't say that. No, we're going to say it. Okay? Then you wonder why. You mothers and fathers, you better start waking up. You better start waking up, and you better start watching what your children, your young adult children, and even your the little babies, you better start watching what they are looking at online. Okay, and stop using it as a way to not have a connection with your child. Because I know a lot of y'all, you rather here's a laptop, here's the Xbox, here's the iPad. Instead of building a relationship with your child, you let the internet raise your child. Then you wonder why. A lot of you parents. Okay, I'm very thankful. Mine are on there, but they're not on there a lot. You know, but they didn't really grow up with the internet. Thank God, mine didn't grow up with the internet. Thank you. I'm so thankful for that. It wasn't there to, manipulate my children's mind. So I'm thankful for that. But a lot of you these days, it's definitely impacting your children's lives, and especially these young adults. So you parents, you better wake up and see what your children and who your children are talking to, because you don't know who's back behind that screen. Anybody can take a picture from anywhere and make a fake profile, and they might think they're talking to Sarah or Betsy or John or Jim. Okay, and that is a pedophile or a human trafficker preying on your child. Okay, because how your children do, they tell all their business online. Okay, they know where they're going, they know what school they go to. Okay, They tell them what time they're good. Well, school's easy. What time they drop off. What they look like, because they put online what they have on, so they know what they look like. Then they know what they have on. Okay, or they're going to a party or whatever. I actually seen one, a human trafficking movie where you know young girl, she went to a party. She went to a party. Okay, parents let her go. She went to a party. Guess what? She ain't come back from that party, because at that party was a predator, a human trafficker predator. And she was drinking, having her fun or whatever. Next thing you know, she's in a van. And I think he threw her in the trunk. Knocked her out, threw her in the trunk, she's gone. Yeah, that quick, that easy. So parents, you better be mindful of what you are allowing your children to do on these social media platforms and who they are talking to. Because this is real. And a lot of you parents are not comprehending, not at all. And do you think these CEOs and Mark Zuckerberg and all these big time powerful people, you think they care about your children? No, they don't. They do not care about your children. Okay, because you have judges doing it, you have law enforcement doing it, you have lawyers doing it. I mean, you have all kinds. I'm not saying all of them, but there is some. Okay, because there is some good, holy Christian people out here with morals and respect. There's good judges, there's good police officers, there's good government officials, but we also have bad ones. And hopefully we have enough good to outweigh the bad. That's what I'm really going on. Okay, I'm one of the good ones. Okay, because I bring awareness. I've been bringing awareness to a lot of things going on. I started with the pharmaceutical industry. Okay, that's a whole nother story. I'm not going to get into that right now, but if you're interested, I think I have my blog. Go to my blog. I have some stuff there, but I know a lot of information. Okay, but that's a very uh, if if you speak out too much, and it's very sad and it's very disheartening. If you expose too much, you and your family may lose your life, because you're hitting home to something that um, people don't want people to know. And it's very sad. It is very sad in this day and age. You are trying to help heal humanity and to expose and save lives, the things that people need to know. And I have been doing this for a long time. And and I see the destruction. And all we want is to respect all of our fellow human beings. It goes back to loving one another again, respecting one another again as human beings, no matter where you come from. No one is perfect. No one has any more higher power than the next person. Okay? Because we are all human. We all have a body. We all have a brain. We all have a nose. We all have eyes. We all have mouth. We all have hands, feet. In case some don't, but they still have some part of a functionable body. They have a body. They're still a human being. And just like babies born, they're still a human being. They are not to be played with as less of a human being. That is a baby. That is a life. Okay, born. And you know what? I have to talk about this real quick, and then I want to get off, because I was explaining at the beginning. I was in a spiritual retreat this weekend, and I went through a very devastating experience myself with the medical device, a birth control device, where they had to remove my female organs, because the birth control device, the medical device, even though I got it out, a piece was found inside of me and it was attacking my internal organs. And I was, in cancer, and I had a disease, so they had to do what they had to do in order for me to survive. because I actually knew a woman that didn't survive. While I was going through my thing, she was going through her thing, and she actually passed away. And I felt so bad for her son, her husband, and her 6 children. But anyway, so in the spiritual retreat, I'm sitting there and I'm worrying about, my trauma that I went through, because it was a very traumatic experience. I lost everything I owned. I was in and out of the hospital. I had 8 surgeries and was in 10 hospitals. I was like, what in the world? So, it floored me, and I lost myself. But anyway, so I'm in the spiritual retreat, and this woman talked, actually, it was a couple of women that said that, she was devastated. She was so devastated. And I was like, oh, I sit up here and talk about myself and worry about me. But she was so devastated to the point she couldn't have children ever. And now she's up there in age. She couldn't have children. And her uterus, well, excuse me, man, I'm sorry. But her uterus was mauled. It was destroyed. And I'm not sure what the extent of what happened, but she was never able to have children, and she really, really wanted to have children. And my heart just dropped because I said I could not, imagine, because I have children. I'm blessed to have children, and I was like, here it is, this woman. I'm talking about my situation, and I have children. Okay, this woman will never ever be able to have children. And I was like, oh my God. And I felt so bad and distraught. And because that is very hurtful to a lot of women, that they're not going to be able to have children. So then we have all these children, all these abortions and stuff going on. Give them to these women that can't have children. Okay, because there's women out there that can't have children that want children. Give them babies to them women. That's my train of thought of thinking. Let them have, they might not have birthed them, but let them women have that, have a chance to raise a child. Okay. They can't have children. Something happened to them medically where they can't have children. I just felt so bad, you guys. I just felt so bad. So anyway, I just wanted to share that. Okay, I know I went off the gamut, but I just wanted to share that piece of information of what I experienced this weekend in my spiritual retreat that I went to, because I was like, oh my God. So anyway, guys, just please watch what your children are doing online. And for your parents, I would be writing Congress, and I would be writing these social media platforms. Okay. Like I said, make your account on Instagram. Okay. Scroll through it. See what your children are posting. Because some of this stuff is just out of this world of what I see. And not even what I see, because I stopped getting on these social media platforms because it's just too much. Okay. It's just too much stuff going on, too much information out there. But and only for business for me. But my son and other men that brought to my attention these things that are going on, the OnlyFans and all this other stuff on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat and whatever other platform they have out here. These women your young daughters are putting their business out there, and they are a prime suspect for human trafficking. And this is why we have this problem around the world, because this is what's going on. With that said, you guys, thank you for watching Candace at the Humanitarian Transformation Network. And we will dig deeper into this this week. I will go more into detail to bring more awareness of the human trafficking. Basically, I call them predators, is what they are. And see if we can bring more awareness to this big problem that we have around the world. Thank you, and bless everyone. Love and light. Thank you from the Humanitarian Transformation Network. And please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. Have a good night.